The Colonel Podcast. Hosted by Noah Norton.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Colonel Podcast, your source for reliable movie and entertainment news. As always, I'm your host, Noah Norton. And right off the bat, I just want to say thank you for bearing with us. I know we didn't have an episode last week. I got a bug. What can I say? Got a bug of some kind, was feeling kind of down and out. But I'm back now. Nothing 4 days in a ventilator can't fix. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to do our quick bites section. If you remember, these are little quick stories, quick hits to kind of get you all caught up on what's going on in the entertainment. So let's pop it, lock it, and butter it down. First off, we're talking about Tenet. It's not doing so well. It really pisses me off, doesn't it? It should piss you off too. This is cinema. Cinema. And I don't want to blame it on the virus because I risked my life. I was there. I was there with 600 other people. Where were you, America, and the international community? Where were you? This movie, it's sitting at $30 million box office. How is it not over $500 million? Are you serious? Do I have to carry the load? Do I personally have to go see this movie 47 times to make up for the losses you freaking idiots can't seem to get behind? Shame on any of you who have not seen Tenet. All right? If you haven't seen it, pull up Venmo. Pull up PayPal, Cash App, whatever you're using, pull it up and shoot $100 to Christopher Nolan right now. You owe him that much. Okay. Shouldn't have done that one first. Okay, moving on to some kind of breaking news. It's kind of fun. So we're movie and entertainment news, and sometimes we have to. We want to be reliable. We want to be upstanding. Sometimes we have to get into the gossip, though. A little bit of gossip. So we're gonna talk about this. Apparently, Kevin Feige the other day showed up to Martin Scorsese's house with a leather jacket and on a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. And Francesca Scorsese ran out and jumped on. Martin Scorsese was standing watching the whole thing happen from his window on his porch, arms crossed, folded, upset. And Kevin Feige made quite the show of touching Francesca's butt as she jumped onto his motorcycle, and they sped off into the distance, Martin Scorsese apparently fuming. If you don't know, Martin Scorsese made some comments about Marvel films being more roller coaster rides rather than actual cinema. Apparently, Kevin Feige took that to heart because now he is dating Francesca Scorsese, Martin Scorsese's youngest daughter. Look, we want to be journalistic and everything, but we can't not talk about some good goss. It's good stuff right there. Moving on. Oh, Dune. Look, we're going to do a whole trailer review breakdown about the movie in the future, but right now, I got to say, this is $1 billion movie. Dune, can we say it? Can we say it? Dune is going to make $1 billion. Denis Villeneuve is an incredible director. He might... Don't you burn me on the cross for this one. He might be better than Nolan right now. I'm talking right now, because of course, peak Nolan is beyond comparison. It's without equal, right? But what Denise is doing right now, it's good. It's really good. And I wasn't sure how Timothée Chalamet was going to factor into this movie. It seemed like he was a background character from all the promotional stuff I'd seen. So I thought Oscar Isaac was going to be the main character, given that beard that he had. Any good beard deserves at least 15 minutes of screen time. But apparently Timothée Chalamet is going to be the main character. I'm not too familiar with the Dune franchise, but yeah, it seems pretty good. I haven't read a book in over 40 years. I've only been alive 20, but if you count the years I could have been reading a book, it adds up. But yeah, this movie looks really good. Timothée Chalamet continues to be the handsomest boy in Hollywood. He's a handsome, handsome boy, and it's very exciting to see him have a jawline like that. Moving on, Nolanites, as we call ourselves, have burnt down the Rotten Tomatoes office. We did it. We did it. You love to see it. Hopefully, then, the site will never return because it is a travesty to movie reviewers everywhere, like myself, who have a little bit of shred of decency. The tomato meter, I saw this tweet the other day, and I think it's good. I think we should talk about this. Instead of the tomato meter, Rotten Tomatoes should call it the woke meter. Isn't that a statement? Right? Says everything you need to say. Yeah. Because if you don't know, you should. But if you don't, Rotten Tomatoes has like a scale, certified fresh and all that. But they really only do it, just between us, they really only put movies that are woke, per se, in the like 90 percentile. I mean, take Dark Knight Rises. Amazing. Incredible movie. Amazing movie. Only has about an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. Whereas you're going to give, I don't know, like Moonlight. You're going to give that 98%. Come on. Batman wasn't even in that movie. It's terrible. But yeah, back to the story. Apparently, someone threw a firebomb into the offices of Rotten Tomatoes around 12 a.m. And then once the building started burning down, other people gathered and started yelling, "Dunkirk deserved better," and just started throwing bombs into the office and burnt the whole thing down. I heard someone threw a Molotov cocktail, and written on it said, "The Prestige, 74%. Are you kidding me?" Wow. Blew the whole thing down. So finally some progress. Oh, really good news. So as we reported 2 weeks ago, Tom Cruise had died. Well, I've got some news for you. If you haven't already seen, he's alive. Tom Cruise is alive. He's actually been revived through the power of modern medicine and a ritual that I'm told blocked out the sun for 3 days. But he has returned to the earth in his corporeal form. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that great? Yes, Tom Cruise is alive again. And if you've seen the photos, he looks good. He actually looks younger. So as a result of that, and pretty much that staunch confirmation that Scientology is the one true religion, we're actually going to be linking. If you look down below, the link is Scientology.org/the Colonel. If you use the discount code POPPERS, that's POPPERS, you get a free e-meter reading with Scientology. So click that link below. Look like Tom Cruise does. Great to see him back. He's a high-power talent we lost there for a second. The Mandalorian Season 2 trailer has dropped, and are you excited? I'm pretty excited. I think it looks really good. Give me a whole season of just Baby Yoda and Mando. Just give me a whole season of those two just walking. You guys, we'd all like that, right? Just them walking. How powerful would that be? I was actually kind of bummed when I saw the trailer that they were going to advance the story. I was kind of bummed because I just wanted to see them walk. I'll paint a picture for you. Paint a picture because that's what cinema is. It's a collection of pictures. Mando and Baby Yoda. We open on a desert landscape. Could be Tatooine. We don't know. Nothing fills the frame. just the vastness of space in this planet. Enter through the left side. Mando and Yoda. Walking. Do you have chills yet? You should have chills. And then they keep walking. And that's the end. 8 episodes. Do it. Disney, stop with all the action. Stop with the lightsaber, the fighting, the pew pew pew. Let's let these characters breathe. Let's see some walking. All right. Moving on. Still excited. Moving on. J.J. Abrams is currently helping Daisy Ridley find her parents. If you don't know this, Daisy Ridley grew up on the London streets, a scrappy youngster. She would collect parts and then sell them over to a trade hub in London. And that's actually how JJ found her to play Rey. He was just walking through London. He saw this scrappy young girl beat up a would-be mugger, and he was like, perfect. That's exactly what I'm going for. So he actually cast her based off of that experience, and now the two of them are going on a road trip to find her biological parents. Is your heart melting yet? It's pretty beautiful. So we'll actually see if that ends up happening. This is exciting. Exciting news. So I'm technically not allowed to talk about this because I signed an NDA, legally binding. I didn't read any of it, but legally binding. Can't talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it though because I think it is important, and I have a great legal team. So I'm just gonna talk about it. BORAT 2. Oh yes, it's happening. BORAT 2 is made. It's actually gonna come out. I was in the test audience, and I could tell you guys right now, flawless. You're gonna be real excited when you see this movie because it is beautiful. And I know I think there's kind of this hesitation with Borat because it's such crass, crude humor. It's timely. I'd say the film is. It's timely, but it's also timeless. It holds its own. I've been thinking about it days on end. It's fantastic, amazing. Citizen Kane, you better watch out because there's a new masterpiece in town. Sacha Baron Cohen, he's gonna sweep the Oscars. I'm calling it now. Hot take, whatever you want to say. Sacha Baron Cohen is going to Bong Joon-ho it. He's gonna get directing, Best Picture. Acting for sure. I don't know if he's gonna win for writing. That's the only kind of question mark in my head if he's gonna win for writing, because Borat in and of itself is such performance art cinema. It's generally unscripted, so I don't know if that's actually gonna be the case, but certainly audio mixing. That's an easy one. But it's great. I can't talk to you any further than that, or I don't want to talk too much about it because I might spoil things. But if you're wondering, yes, there's male nudity, and no, it is not tasteful. It's very good. Okay, moving on. In addition to the new Oscars diversity and inclusion rules, the Board of Governors are now banning actors' mothers from attending all events. So if you don't know, the Oscars diversity panel, they're putting in new regulations. I think they're going to start 2023 or 2025. Is it 2025? I don't know. They're going to start soon, but it's basically the whole premise is to try to make the Oscars not hashtag so white. You know, okay, fine, if this is your correction. But if that's how you think Oscars, then you might want to consider some other movies that can't make it anymore. You know, Saving Private Ryan, that can't win an Oscar. It didn't, but it couldn't now. Irishman, that also didn't win, but Little Women, I guess. I say that with a chuckle because Greta Gerwig is garbage at directing, but Yeah. But yeah, now they're banning mothers from attending all events. And I guess the reason for this is they don't want actors to use their moms to seem grounded and humbled. They want actors to seem above everything, and knowing that they've been birthed and created just in the same way the rest of us have, it doesn't elevate them to that elite status that Hollywood wants. So they're actually banning mothers from attending. Yeah, we'll see how that ends up shaking out for it. I think that's a good rule. I think that's fair. One of the things I really hate is when I see a celebrity and I think, oh, this person might bleed the same way I would if I was stabbed. I really like to think of them as these near immortal deities that we're just lucky enough to be graced with when they're in our presence. That's how I view Christopher Nolan. So we'll see how it shakes out. All right, that's everything for our quick pop bites. So stay tuned, and we're going to come back in just a moment with a very exciting thing. We're going to talk A24. And if you don't know, now you know. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. So I kind of teased it at the beginning of, or at the end of last segment, but for today, our main segment, we're actually going to be, this is really exciting, and this is going to lead to some contention, all right? So be prepared. If you got a buddy next to you listening, if you're on the car, prepare for some road rage. I'm going to be ranking every single A24 film. Are you ready? As you can tell, I am a big fan. We know about the jacket. You'd call this a sweater. Yeah. We know about the sweater, A24 sweater. We know what a huge fan I am. But if you really need more proof on my authority, because you probably go, oh, this guy's a Nolan fan. You know, Nolan doesn't do any A24. You know, so you're probably going, oh, what's this guy? What's he gonna say? But I'm a huge A24 fan, and if you need any more proof, check this guy out. So you can see. I'll bring it. Close that. Let's read it. A24 poster. This is an A24 poster that I have. They actually sent it to me as a thank you for being such a fan. They sent it to me after I gave them $150, which I think is just a standard processing fee. But yeah, I'm never going to open it. I actually have made a promise myself. I'm never going to open this poster because I don't ever want to ruin the integrity of the poster and, you know, like put it out to like dust and stuff. But yeah, there it sits. If you needed any more proof, there it is. But yes, I will be going through every single A24 film. I have them all listed out in front of me, and we're just going to go through and rank them A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and of course, S tier, Supreme tier. Oh, my poster just fell. It's fine. Supreme tier, which is going to be like the cream of the crop, and maybe we'll have some surprises along the way, right? It's kind of exciting, you know, because, you know, it'll be a little contentious. Get ready to have some disagreements. I'm not saying that this is the definitive list, but there's not a bigger A24 fan, and frankly, there's not a bigger film fan. So let's see. All right, here we go. Going right into it. First off, Spring Breakers. A tier. That's an A-tier movie right there. If you haven't seen Spring Breakers, it's a terrific turn from James Franco, Vanessa Hudgens, Selena Gomez, the latter. It's a great movie. Well loved. Love the movie. And the girls are really hot. Can I be a man for a second? Gonna be crass. Very hot. That three-way scene in the pool. Yeah. A-tier movie. All right, moving on. The Bling Ring. This one's a lot like Spring Breakers. The girls are hot. A-tier. I say A-tier. Emma Watson is really hot. Okay, yeah. All I gotta say about that. Enemy. I didn't understand it, but, and I know what you're thinking. If Noah doesn't understand a movie, then he loves it. It only works with Nolan, because Nolan has a way of crafting a movie that is absolute nonsense, but in a way that makes it seem like it would make sense, you know? Like, I feel like if I watched Inception and I thought really hard, it'd make sense after. Enemy didn't really make any sense, but not in that way. C tier. I'd say C tier. Is that a hot take? C tier? Number 4, Under the Skin. Under the Skin. That's an A tier. Scarlett Johansson's naked. She's really hot. A tier. Moving on. Ex Machina. I would love this movie. If I ever saw it, I would love this movie. I know I would. Everyone tells me how good it is all the time. S tier. I'm gonna give it the first supreme. I'm gonna have to, right? Have you seen it? Yeah, me neither. Looks good. Love Oscar Isaacs. S tier. Yeah, I think so. The Witch. That's gonna be my first D tier. I think with it is the girl's hot. There's no doubt about it. Just I don't know. Maybe it's the stifling Pilgrim era clothes or what have you, but it's just she's hot, and in the movie's kind of slow. You know, I get it's a slow burn horror, whatever. And maybe I'm biased because this movie actually got me banned from Regal Cinemas countrywide. And it's because I fell asleep. I fell asleep about halfway through, and I was awoken by a usher, and the usher's like, "Sir, you've been here 4 hours. Like, you've actually missed 2 showings of this movie. Can you leave?" And I said, "You shut up, you stupid, stupid boy." And I punched him. And he punched me back. And I am now banned from all Regal Cinemas. So I might be biased. D tier. The Lobster. I have to say D tier because the girls aren't really that hot in this movie. Colin Farrell, he does well. He carries the subject material. I don't believe in love as a concept, so it's kind of hard for me. Yeah, I'd say D tier. All right, moving on. Moonlight. Moonlight. D tier. D tier. Yeah, double D. Yeah, it's not, the girls aren't that hot. There's actually not that many girls. La La Land should have won. La La Land really should have won Best Picture. When I remember where I was when I did that, when they called La La Land, I was like, Hollywood did the right thing, you know? Finally a win for photogenic people like Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, you know, who've just been grinding in the industry forever. But nope. They gotta go Moonlight. I've never seen it. D tier. All right, next one. It Comes at Night. Ugh. You talk about a wasted movie. It wasn't scary. Let's start there. Maybe it's the marketing and my expectations, but it wasn't scary. It was totally unbelievable that there could be this, plague, pandemic, ravaging a country, killing people. It just doesn't make sense, you know? In what world would that happen? You know? I was really hoping it'd be more believable and there'd be like a monster or a ghost that was haunting him. You have the name, It Comes at Night. I'm getting kind of pissed off now because now I'm thinking of all the good movies that could have the name It Comes at Night. Like, think about all the good movies. Come on. Seriously? And we're wasting it? We're wasting a title like that on this far-fetched plague pandemic. Ooh, so scary. There's a plague. It's killing people, and if you get it, it'll kill you, and it'll be horrible, and it's a respiratory infection. The scariest evils are ourselves. Ugh. Come on. Look, I'm an A24 fan, you know, and I love everything they do. but I don't love everything they do, and this is something I don't like. I'm giving it F tier. It Comes at Night, F tier movie. They have a horrible waste of a name. Okay, moving on. A Ghost Story. And they had a bad year. They had a bad year when they released these movies. Snooze Fest. She ate a pie for 8 minutes? What? Are you kidding me? No scene should take 8 minutes. Unless it's Mando and Baby Yoda walking through Tatooine. Give me 20 minutes of those, all right? But, yeah, that's an F tier. Gotta give it an F tier. God, is that really? It Comes at Night, Ghost Story. God, what a waste of a year. Okay, all right, next one. Good Time. Oh, Good Time. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved it. S tier. Yeah, great movie. Fantastic. I really am hoping there's a way, and I'm sure, you probably see where I'm going with this. I hope there's a way that they can make it so Good Time is, in fact, the prequel to the new Robert Pattinson Batman movie. It fits, right? It kind of weirdly fits. So I'm not sure. In a way, it would make so much sense if A24 and Warner Brothers teamed up together to make Good Time, because it makes sense, because that actually would lead very well into the Batman. I might have just spoiled the franchise for you guys. That might be a thing. S tier, Supreme, love it, great movie. Robert Pattinson. It was cool to see him turn from Edward Snowden, who he was playing before. All right, next up is The Florida Project. D tier. D tier. I'm just going to say D tier. Sound like a German man. Hey, Dieter. D tier, right? Oh. Yeah, it's fine. It's not that great. I think the trouble for me is I just kept, whenever I see Willem Dafoe, I just think about how large his penis is. Does that happen to you guys? Yeah, I was trying to watch Endgame the other day, and then I just kept thinking about how big Chris Evans' penis was, and he's lifting the hammer, and I'm just thinking, does he do it with his own hammer? It was really weird, and it's kind of ruined. Oh God, I was trying to watch the first Spider-Man movie, and I just couldn't stop thinking about the Green Goblin's Pink Goblin the whole time. I kept thinking about it. Yeah, so I just keep thinking about Willem Dafoe's penis all the time. So I gotta say D tier for me. Girls weren't that hot. Next one. Oh. Lady Bird. Okay. My producer over there, he's already wincing because he knows what's coming. Here comes the hurricane. Lady Bird. Garbage movie. Directed by Greta Garbage Gerwig. The G's. Alliteration. Horrible movie. Terrible direction. All of it. Too fast paced. Can you slow a movie down? Let the characters breathe for a second? F tier right now. It's giving it an F tier. Maybe the worst one we've actually seen on this list. It's a horrible movie. It's worse than It Comes at Night, I think. Because It Comes at Night has that sin of using a great title. Lady Bird has the same issue. Think about all the great movies you could have named Lady Bird, right? Lady Bird Johnson, a biopic about Lyndon B. Johnson's wife. You could have that, And instead we got this crap. If they had one redeeming quality, it did start the Timothée Chalamet renaissance that we're now in. it did kind of, well, it started with Call Me By Your Name, so I can't even really give it that credit. But I think it really kind of cemented Timothy, because this is also the same year, so it was a big year. I think if I had to give it anything, I'd say that it gave us Timothy Chalamet. But even then, it's just like, you didn't really give us to that, you know? Yeah, because then that's giving credit to Greta Gerwig, you know? Because then it's like, then I'm like, oh, Greta made Timothy. No. Timothy has carried your sorry ass through every film you've ever made. Lady Bird, F. F tier. Bad movie. The Disaster Artist. I love this movie. S tier. First of all, supreme S tier. One of the best movies ever made. Fantastic movie. Fantastic. James Franco, incredible turn in it. Is James Franco canceled? Is he canceled? I hope he isn't. Because I know, he sent a picture of his penis to underage women. Oh, James Franco, turns out he's creepy and hypersexualized. I thought that's what we liked about him. I thought we liked how freaking weird he was, and that, you know? I read a thing that, like, the women were complaining because during a scene he actually wanted to have sex during it. And it's like, I kind of just assumed that was James Franco already. I assume he was having sex during every scene he did. I don't know. I mean, weird. First Reformed. A tier. I'm going to say A tier. I didn't know what to think when I saw this movie, and I really still don't. But everyone I've talked to has told me it's really good. And I'm not too narcissistic that I won't listen to other people, you know? I'll listen to the criticism, listen to what they're said. And in this case, the support for it was just so overwhelming from the two friends that I have that I had to just go A tier, like right off the top of my brain. So I'm saying First Reformed, great movie, A tier. Next up, Hereditary. Supreme tier. S tier. I'm actually getting chills thinking about it. That was a movie. And it started kind of showing us how brilliant Ari Aster is. God, he is brilliant. Hey, Tarantino, move out of the way, because there's a new hot director in town, and it is Ari Aster. Writer, director, genius, brilliant mind. Hereditary, just such an incredible film. If you haven't seen it already, here's the ending of it. It turns out that there's like the grandma had made a pact with a demon so that she could like have longer life and live again. And they transfer the consciousness of the demon into I'm forgetting it, Nat Wolf transferred into him. So that's the entire ending of the movie. But it's so good. You should watch it so you can experience that ending. Ari Aster, he kills it. S tier. Beautiful, beautiful movie. Moving on, 8th Grade. This is hard. It's a hard way to put it. I think C tier would be too much credit. I'm gonna say D tier. Say D tier. I'm not really big on these kind of like middle school age sort of stories, you know, kind of like centering around this like weird transitioning part of youth. I kind of like when, you know, it's a little more, I like coming of age stories where they're already the age, you know? Just makes more sense to me that way. So it's kind of weird, like when your protagonist is this awkward girl who's like 11 years old, you know, it's weird, right? It's kind of weird, and see how she kind of grows and fits in the world. And it's kind of weirdly sexual, and the girls aren't that hot. So I'm going to have to say D tier. Mid-90s. I love this movie. I really do. S tier, supreme tier. Fantastic movie. I really love these stories that are set in like the middle school, like era age, like kind of like 11, 12-ish. It's a great coming of age story. Jonah Hill. Isn't it so fun to see these comedic, these comedic forces take on like this like serious material? Isn't it so great when you get like a great director like Jonah Hill, who normally we think is such comedic light, and an actor to shoot this movie? I think it's great. Mid-90s. I love that time period. The girls are hot. All right, moving on. Under the Silver Lake. Loved it. Let me tell you. Love this movie. I'm giving it... Oh, I didn't say mid-90s. I'm giving that the S tier. I'm giving it S tier, supreme tier. I think I'm going to have to do the same thing for Under the Silver Lake. I think I am. It is so rare to find a movie like this nowadays. So rare. It's brilliant. It's really brilliant. Restrained in a way. After It Follows, I wasn't sure what this director was going to do next. It Follows is one of my all-time favorite horror movies because the girl is really hot in it. But Under the Silver Lake, wow. It's a great. They say there's a sophomore slump. I think it's a sophomore supreme. It's good. It's a very good movie. I recommend you watch it. Andrew Garfield does a great job. Midsommar. You already know what I'm going to say. You already know. Ari Aster is a genius. He's incredible. He's amazing. Supreme tier, S tier. I love it. The girl's hot. It's really good. I wasn't sure because you see all these like a horror movie and your typical thought is like, oh, it's gonna be dark and weirdly lit and shit. But Midsommar does that rare thing where the horror is kind of like the events and everything. It's not really what you would typically think of a horror being. The girls are all really hot. One of the best lovemaking scenes I've seen in cinema. Takes me back. Do you remember Ghost? Takes me back to Ghost. That scene with the clay pot where they're making it. Ari knows romance. Ari Aster. Supreme tier, Midsommar. Oh, great movie. All right, moving on. We got a couple of these left. But The Farewell. F tier. Bad movie. Bad movie. Awkwafina, should be ashamed of yourself. You made a bad movie. My biggest gripe with this movie, aside from everything, and again, the title, it pisses me off because of The Farewell. It's such a great title. You can think of all these different things you could do. The Farewell could have been, it could have been Lady Bird, the name of Lady Bird Johnson, Lyndon B. Johnson's wife, could have been when they left office. It could have been their farewell to being first lady, wasn't relatable. I didn't really get it, because it wasn't all in English, which is really confusing, right? You're going to make a movie and then you're not going to be able to make it so like people understand what's going on. And you know what? I haven't read a book in 14 years and I never will. I will never read a book. And the reason for that is because I'm a film fan. I watch film. I don't read. So it was really weird to just do this movie where you had to read, F tier, bad movie. Do yourself a favor. Don't watch it. Do yourself a favor and unwatch it if you can. Yeah, bad movie. Moving on. The Lighthouse. I like this movie. I do. If you know, like me, I'm a big fan of Robert Pattinson. I think he did a great job. He kind of carried the movie. Yeah. He kind of carried the movie. Willem Dafoe. Good performance. He's got a huge penis. It's enormous. I just couldn't stop seeing it the whole time. Whenever you see him naked and he's like shining, I just kept thinking of his penis. And it didn't help that the lighthouse is this tall phallic object. And it's not like I'm not confident in myself, Like that's not the issue. I'm it's serviceable, you know? God, it's a big penis. I didn't even pay attention to a damn thing he said the whole movie. I was like, God, his penis is big. And I'll also give it a B tier because the girl is hot and you do see boobies. But half of her is a fish. Didn't work for me that time. Moving on, our final one. The brilliant Uncut Gems. I love this movie. I really do love this movie. S tier. Supreme. It's fantastic. The Safdie brothers are amazing. Amazing. They're really good at creating this palatable cinema. You know? I remember just watching it, and I was just so at ease. You know? Like, you're just sitting there, and you're kind of like, oh, you know? This is what movies should be. A pleasant, like, ride. You know, this journey you go on. Adam Sandler. I almost called him Fandler. I am a fan of you, Adam. Send me a poster. But Adam Sandler, yeah, amazing turn. Amazing turn. I talked about this with Jonah Hill. It was really cool. It was really cool to see him do that turn. I thought he played his part really well. Yeah. Uncut Gems. Very good movie. Sandler did very well. I'm going to say S tier, supreme tier there. I do have an honorable mention, and that is Get Out, directed by Jordan Peele. I think it was 2017. If you haven't heard of this movie, it kind of snuck by. I don't know why I put that. Why did I put this in the honorable mention? Whatever. D tier. D tier movie, Get Out. You really, during the movie, you really get the sense that Jordan Peele is kind of just lost. He's kind of lost out there. He's a little, you know, water's here, and he's barely above the water. He's really lost without Peele. Or not Peele, Key. He's really lost without Keegan-Michael Key. The movie, I'd watched a lot of their skits, and I wasn't laughing during the movie. You know? Like, it was weird. I wasn't laughing. It was like, I know he wasn't trying to be scary or serious because, you know, he's a comedian. And comedians, I mean, I've said it once, I said it 1,000 times. Comedians shouldn't try to, like, get out of their lane. They should just stay in comedy. If that's what they do, that's what they should do. So it's really weird to see him try to tackle this thing. Yeah, Get Out. I wish I could get out of my brain. It's a bad movie. Bad. D tier. Okay. So that's my ranking of all the A24 films. Yeah, if you have any thoughts, definitely leave them down below. If you have any disagreements with me, let me know. I'm going to be really surprised if anyone does, because I think I kind of set the consensus here. But yeah, thank you so much again for listening to the podcast. As always, I'm Noah Norton. Stay tuned and definitely follow our Instagram page. We have a lot of great content coming out there, some good news reports, and you don't want to miss anything. All right? Have a good one.